Hey guys, welcome back. I've been getting a lot of questions lately, and today we're talking about this guy right here, the iPhone 13 Pro in Graphite. Now, we are in 2026, and a lot of you might be wondering, how does a phone that's over 4 years old hold up today? Whether you're thinking about picking one of these up on the used market because the price has dropped so much, or maybe you're currently using one and you're kind of on the fence about whether it's time to upgrade, or even if you're on an older iPhone and wondering if the 13 Pro is still a viable option, this video is for you. I'm gonna walk you through my honest long-term experience. And just for full disclosure, pretty much everything I say here applies to the 13 Pro Max as well. The only real difference is, the screen size and the battery capacity, which we'll talk about in a bit. But yeah, let's just get right into it. Before we talk about how it performs today, I think we have to remember what made this phone so special when it first launched. Like back in 2021, the 13 Pro was a massive deal. It was the very first iPhone to finally give us that 120Hz ProMotion display. We had been waiting for that for years. Plus, Apple made a huge leap in battery life coming from the 12 Pro, and they gave us these massive camera sensors. It was one of those rare years where the Pro moniker really felt like a massive leap forward. But tech moves fast. So how does that hold up now? Starting with the design and the display. Honestly, it still feels incredibly premium. You've got this stainless steel band, which still gets smudgy as soon as you look at it, but it feels weighty and solid in the hand. And that display, man, the 120Hz ProMotion is still the star of the show. It's actually kind of crucial right now, especially with the latest iOS 26. As you guys know, Apple introduced that new liquid glass design language in iOS 26. It looks amazing, super satisfying to look at, but it is heavily animated. I was actually a little worried that a 4+ year-old phone would stutter with all those new visual effects because it definitely uses up a lot of hardware resources. But surprisingly, the 13 Pro handles it like a champ. The glass fluid design meeting that super fluid 120Hz display is just a really perfect fit. It makes older software like iOS 18 feel kind of outdated when you look back at it. There is a huge gap in the design and animation now, and I've just gotten so used to this new liquid glass stuff. So, talking about how well it handles all that heavy new software naturally brings us to the actual performance. And just to give you guys a bit more context on my relationship with this specific phone, right now, it is technically just my backup. It mostly just hangs out here on my desk. I use it for, review purposes or like installing those early beta programs just to test out new features without risking my main device. Or honestly, sometimes I just use it to scroll and watch videos while my main phone is hooked up to the charger. But I really want to emphasize that for a solid 2 years, this 13 Pro was my absolute ride or die daily driver. I mean, I pushed this thing hard. From managing daily tasks, shooting stuff on the fly, navigating around, and just using it as my main hub for everything before I finally made the jump to the 15 Pro and now the 17 Pro, I didn't baby it at all. So when I talk about how it performs, I'm not just reading off a spec sheet, I really put it through its paces day in and day out for years, so I have a pretty good feel for how it holds up when life actually gets busy. Just to give you some numbers, I ran Geekbench 6 on it recently. It's pulling a 2420 on the single core, a 5440 on the multi-core, and the metal GPU score is sitting at 20806. What does that actually mean for day-to-day use? It means apps open quick, swiping between them is buttery smooth, and the performance is still absolutely good for today's standards. A big part of that is the 6GB of RAM. I mentioned this in my other video where I talked about the base model iPhone 13. That base model constantly reloads apps in the background because of its lower RAM, but with 6GB on this Pro model, it holds up pretty well. It doesn't constantly drop your background apps. Obviously, there's a gap if you compare it to the 8GB on the 15 Pro or 16 Pro, and it's a huge gap compared to my current daily driver, the iPhone 17 Pro, which brings us 12GB of RAM. But for normal use, the 13 Pro is totally fine. I do game on this thing too. Most high demanding games are still really playable on high settings, but I will say it definitely gets warm during long sessions. Even with daily tasks, I feel like this 13 Pro gets warm a bit more easily now. To be fair, I think I'm just a little spoiled because I'm so used to my iPhone 17 Pro with that new vapor chamber and the unibody aluminum design that handles thermals so much better. Okay, let's talk about the battery life. This is where the age of the phone really shows. My 13 Pro's battery health had dropped to 70%, and guys, it really sucked. I mean, if I tried to use it as a daily driver, I was charging this thing 2 to 3 times a day. The standby time was just not great, it was draining so fast. So I decided to take matters into my own hands. I bought an aftermarket battery and replaced it myself. As you can see on the screen here, my battery health is back at 100%. Because it's an aftermarket part, it does show that unknown part, non-genuine message in the settings. Honestly, not a problem at all. It's actually a really good battery. Since I did the swap, the performance is fantastic again, and it easily handles a whole day on a single charge, just like when it was brand new in 2021. If your 13 Pro is struggling, I really think right now is the best time to just replace the battery. It brings the phone completely back to life. Alright, so moving on to the cameras. Honestly, even in 2026, you are still getting a really great, incredibly reliable setup here. You've got that classic Pro triple lens system on the back, the main, the ultra wide, and that 3x telephoto lens. I actually still really love using that 3x for portraits or just, punching in on a subject without losing any quality. The photos that come out of this phone are still super sharp, the colors look natural, and Apple's processing from this generation just holds up so well. Plus, let's not forget, this was the exact iPhone that introduced macro photography. I still find myself getting super close to textures or objects just to play around with it, and it's genuinely a fun experience. Now, for video, because it's an iPhone, so video is always going to be a strong suit, it does have cinematic mode. This was the big flashy feature when it came out. I want to be totally upfront. On the 13 Pro, cinematic mode is limited to 1080p at 30 frames per second. If you look at the newer models like my 17 Pro, they can push that up to 4K, but in my actual day-to-day experience, if you're just shooting vertical videos for TikTok, Instagram Reels, or just capturing nice memories with your friends and family, that 1080p cinematic video still looks really aesthetic with the blurred background. Most people watching on a phone screen aren't even going to notice the difference. I've used this phone for plenty of quick B-roll shots or social media updates over the years, and it never let me down. So for everyday shots, posting online, or even if you're just dipping your toes into light content creation, this camera setup is not going to hold you back at all. It just works every single time. Now, we have to touch on Apple Intelligence. I'll be completely straight with you. The iPhone 13 Pro does not support Apple Intelligence. It requires the newer chips and at least 8 gigabytes of RAM. For me, to be totally honest, it's not a deal breaker at all. Apple Intelligence is, still finding its footing, and it feels like it's in beta a lot of the time. I usually just use alternatives that are more powerful anyway, like Gemini or ChatGPT. If you do care about on-device AI, then yeah, the newer generation iPhones are the standard now, and they are definitely more future-proof for whenever Apple's AI gets really great. But if you're like me and just use third-party apps for that stuff, missing out on Apple Intelligence on the 13 Pro isn't something you'll lose sleep over. So what are the real downsides of buying or keeping a 13 Pro right now? The biggest one honestly is the lightning port. Almost everything in my life is USB-C now, so keeping a lightning cable around just for this phone is a bit annoying. And like I mentioned, the thermal management isn't quite as advanced as the newer models, so it will get warm and you will have to deal with battery degradation if you buy one used that hasn't had a swap yet. So let's wrap this up. How is the iPhone 13 Pro in 2026? It is surprisingly really great by today's standards. It handles almost everything smoothly. With the prices dropping on the used market, it's honestly a steal if you want a pro-level iPhone with a 120Hz display and a great camera setup at an affordable price. Now, if you are currently using a 13 Pro, you really have two options. Option 1, spend a little money, replace the battery, and enjoy all-day battery life again. The resale value on this phone is still really good because it's going to keep getting the latest iOS updates for at least another 2 years. Option 2, you finally upgrade. Like I said, I skipped the 14 Pro, went to the 15 Pro, skipped the 16 Pro, and now my main driver is the 17 Pro. If you are still on the 13 Pro, upgrading to the 17 Pro right now is an incredible choice. You are getting a massive upgrade in every single category, like that crazy 48 megapixel triple camera setup and the 8x telephoto zoom. It is a real tangible leap, not just an incremental one. Alright guys, that's going to do it for my 2026 long-term review of the iPhone 13 Pro. Let me know down in the comments, are you still rocking the 13 Pro? Are you planning to upgrade, or are you just gonna swap the battery and hold on for another year? Thank you so much for watching. Leave a like if this was helpful, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.